Hello and welcome to Nobody E-Noon series of Warcraft history, where we discuss the lore of the Warcraft universe and the edited lore that was changed for the World of Warcraft game by Blizzard. Just FYI, I intend on doing more videos on other subjects relating to the history and lore of Warcraft, such as racial trivias, character profiles, battles, etc., but for my main episode list, we're just going to follow the main timeline. But remember also that this timeline is unofficial. Okay, so for a quick recap from last episode, we discovered the universe had been created by some unexplainable mean, and that a godlike race called the Titans, led by the council known as the Pantheon, emerged from the cosmos. They were forging and crafting worlds until they discovered an evil threat known as demons. Now we continue with our story. Over time, demonic entities made their way into the Titans' worlds from the twisting nether, and the Pantheon elected its greatest warrior, Sargeras, to act as its first line of defense. A noble giant of molten bronze, Sargeras carried out his duties for countless millennia, seeking out and destroying these demons wherever he could find them. Over the eons, Sargeras encountered two powerful demonic races, both of which were bent on gaining power and dominance over the physical universe. The Eridar, an insidious race of devilish sorcerers, used their warlike magics to invade and enslave a number of worlds. The indigenous races of those worlds were mutated by the Eridar's malevolent powers and turned into demons themselves. Though Sargeras' nearly limitless powers were more than enough to defeat the vile Eridar, he was greatly troubled by the creature's corruption and all-consuming evil. Incapable of fathoming such depravity, the great Titan began to slip into a brooding depression. Despite his growing unease, Sargeras rid the universe of the warlocks by trapping them within a corner of the twisting nether. While his confusion and misery deepened, Sargeras was forced to contend with another group, intent on disrupting the Titans' orders, the Nathrazim. This dark race of vampiric demons, also known as Dreadlords, conquered a number of populated worlds by possessing their inhabitants and turning them to the shadow. The nefarious, scheming Dreadlords turned whole nations against one another by manipulating them into unthinking hatred and mistrust. Sargeras defeated the Nathrazim easily, but their corruption affected him deeply. As doubt and despair overwhelmed Sargeras' senses, he lost all faith not only in his mission, but also in the Titan's vision of an ordered universe. Eventually, he came to believe that the concept of order itself was folly, and that chaos and depravity were the only absolutes within the dark, lonely universe. His fellow Titans tried to persuade him of his error and calm his raging emotions, but he disregarded their more optimistic belief as self-serving delusions. Storming from their ranks forever, Sargeras set out to find his own place in the universe. Although the Pantheon was sorrowful at his departure, the Titans could never have predicted just how far this lost brother would go. By the time Sargeras' madness had consumed the last vestiges of his valiant spirit, he believed that the Titans themselves were responsible for the creation's failure. Deciding at last to undo their work throughout the universe, he resolved to form an unstoppable army that would set the physical universe aflame. Even Sargeras' titanic form became distorted from the corruption that plagued his once noble heart. His eyes, hair, and beard erupted into fire. His metallic bronze skin split open to reveal an endless furnace of blistering hate. In his fury, Sargeras shattered the prisons of the Eridar and the Nathrazim and set the loathsome demons free. These cunning creatures bowed before the Dark Titan's vast rage and offered to serve him in whatever malicious way they could. From the ranks of the powerful Eridar, Sargeras picked two champions to command his demonic army of destruction. Kil'jaeden, the Deceiver, was chosen to seek out the darkest races in the universe and recruit them into Sargeras' ranks. The second champion, Archimonde, the Defiler, was chosen to lead Sargeras' vast armies into battle against any who might resist the Titan's will. Kil'jaeden's first move was to enslave the vampiric dreadlords under his terrible power. The dreadlords served as his personal agents throughout the universe, and they took pleasure in locating primitive races for their master to corrupt and bring into the fold. First among the dreadlords was Tichondrius, the Darkener. Tichondrius served Kil'jaeden as the perfect soldier and agreed to bring Sargeras' burning will to all the dark corners of the universe. The mighty Archimonde also empowered agents of his own, calling upon the malefic Pit Lords and their barbarous leader, Manaroth the Destructor. Archimonde hoped to establish a fighting elite that would scour the creation of all life. Once Sargeras saw that his armies were amassed and ready to follow his every command, he launched his raging forces into the vastness of the Great Dark. He referred to his growing army as the Burning Legion. To this date, it is still unclear how many worlds they consumed and burned on their unholy, burning crusade across the universe. That passage is taken from the History of Warcraft Chapter 1, and it can be found in the World of Warcraft game. It occurred roughly between 25 through 140,000 years prior to the opening of the Dark Portal. Now, the following is on the Fall of Sargeras from the Warcraft RPG. Once the greatest warrior in the entire pantheon of Titans, Sargeras is now completely insane and devoted to the pursuit of absolute destruction. Initially, the Titans elected him to be their primary defense against the demon races, and he valiantly fought against the dark beings for several millennia. However, after witnessing the boundless depths of the demons' evil and hate, Sargeras began to despair of his task and gradually slipped into a brooding depression. He was unable to comprehend the nature of such pure evil and came to blame the Titans for what he considered to be their flawed pursuit of a false order. Sargeras concluded that chaos and depravity were the only true forces in the universe and angrily exiled himself from the ranks of the Titans forever. Sargeras roamed the twisting nether for thousands of years, freeing the many demon races that he had previously hunted down and imprisoned. He bound the newly released demons to his will and used them to construct an army of massive proportions, one that eventually became known as the Burning Legion. Sargeras chose two champions from the ranks of his followers, Kil'jaeden the Deceiver and Archimonde the Defiler. Convinced that the Titans' ordering of the universe was unnatural and ultimately responsible for the corrupted nature of the demons, Sargeras decided to undo the work of the Titans throughout the universe. The only way that he could correct their mistakes was to destroy all the worlds that the Titans had shaped and brought order to so long ago. His forces swept from world to world, destroying everything in their path. They eventually became aware of the young world of Azeroth due to the Night Elves' reckless use of arcane magic, and Sargeras began to hunger for the limitless energies of the Well of Eternity. And that is found in the Warcraft RPG book Shadow and Light, page 121. As we can see, Sargeras' fall was due to an overwhelming sense of failure to end destruction, evil, chaos, and corruption. He found himself continuously questioning his mission and the purpose of the Pantheon Order. He found pleasure in power and destruction. I find it exceptionally ironic that the one who was charged with protecting life and the balance of the universe ended up as the greatest and most terrible threat to its existence. Sargeras' fall has everything to do with every other event and story in the Warcraft universe through some mean or another. His actions would greatly influence others and have catastrophic consequences in the universe. After he embraced both Fel energy and arcane magic, he transformed into a new entity altogether. He's no longer a true Titan nor a demon, but something else entirely with terrifying power and near limitless energies. He is completely immune to fire magic, Fel energy, and arcane powers, making him nearly invincible. He is the single most terrifying, powerful, and evil being in the entire Warcraft universe. His betrayal would not only shatter the hearts of his fellow Titans, but due to his corruption, he would be almost completely unstoppable, even amongst them. The Titans never suspected that Sargeras would ever go so far as he did, and it caught them completely off guard and by surprise when he formed the Burning Legion. His fellow Titans would elect a new member to take his place and lead the Titan armies against him in the many thousands of years that would follow. It's clear in both the original Warcraft lore and the world of Warcraft that Sargeras' fall was due to an amount of overburdensome and blaming himself for his inability to hold back evil and corruption. Because of his inability to stop its spread, he ends up embracing it and surrendering himself to its power and influence. This not only made him brilliantly powerful, but it caused him to go insane. Now, this part causes a lot of confusion among Sargeras and the enlistment of the Eridar. And it's as following. When Sargeras sought out a new army of followers, he came across the planet Argus. He was greatly attracted to the Eridar's magical affinity and contacted them, promising the three leaders, Archimonde, Kil'jaeden, and Velen, immortality and vast powers. A troubling vision soon came to Velen, however, and he saw the Eridar transformed into unspeakable demons. But despite Valen's misgivings, Archimonde and Kil'jaeden agreed to join Sargeras' Burning Legion. The Eridar were the first sentient race to pledge their allegiance to Sargeras. Knowing that other sentient beings would inevitably join the Legion, the Eridar declared that their primary language, Eredun, would be the Legion's common language. Velen was distraught at the decision of his fellow comrades, and he prayed for help. To his great surprise, he would be answered by the Naru, energy beings of pure light with great affinity of the holy light of creation. They blessed Velen and his followers, and had been bent on the destruction of the Burning Legion. Velen would gather as many uncorrupted Eridar as he could aboard the Exodar and fly across the universe with the Naru, while Archimonde and Kil'jaeden would continue to build the strength and armies of the Burning Legion, and with his powerful servants, Sargeras was now ready to launch his burning crusade against all life. And here is where some of the inconsistencies start. Now, originally, the demons that comprised the armies of the Burning Legion had always existed. They were separated into their own massive armies that came forth from the twisting nether that rampaged throughout the universe, devouring all life and consuming planets for their energies. They were divided amongst their subtypes and were not given the name Burning Legion until Sargeras arrived and united them all together into one massive military campaign. When Sargeras fell, he simply took over the demon races, as there was no one powerful enough to stop him or pose any significant threat to his rule. There were many different types of demons originally, such as Fel Guards, Doom Guards, the Nathrazim, the Pit Lords, and the Eridar, to name but a few. These demons were not necessarily related to each other, but they were nonetheless all subspecies of demons. How could Sargeras offer the race of the Eridar on the planet Argus great godlike powers for their service when they were originally the most powerful demons of the demon race imprisoned in the twisting nether? Didn't Sargeras imprison both the Eridar and the Nathrazim in a prison in the twisting nether before his betrayal? How could he corrupt an alien race into demons when they were already not just the most powerful demons of all, but the greatest threat to the Titans prior to Sargeras' betrayal? The list on the Eridar could go on. However, I must stay on the subject at hand, though I will be doing a video on their racial lore at a later time. Blizzard would change the concept of demons and the Burning Legion greatly, and I can't emphasize that enough, especially for the expansion, the Burning Crusade. Blizzard would alter many subspecies of demons to be different alien races from various planets that were corrupted from arcane, chaotic magic and fell energies, forcing them to transform into demonic entities as a consequence of their magic using. This greatly affected the lore of Warcraft. Many of the demon types would find new origin stories that would completely contradict the original lore, the Eridar obviously being the strongest example of such. The reason I believe the idea of arcane magic causes one to transform into a demon is a faulty concept is because that would imply any and all races could then potentially be transformed into a demon. The original lore had an already established identity of who and what demons were. Races could not transform into demons themselves, but rather became a new, twisted, and corrupted species altogether, and why the demons would enslave new races to do their bidding. Nothing could completely turn into a new demon or join the race of demons, but depending on circumstances, could come close to becoming a demonic entity. The best example of this would be Illidan Stormrage, who was once a night elf, but was corrupted into a demon-like hybrid, but being neither demon nor night elf himself. This was the closest transformation anyone ever came from an original alien race to a demon. However, it should also be noted this was only possible in the original lore because of the amount of demonic powers, entities, corruption, and influences he absorbed into himself, deforming not only his body, but his state of mind as well. Two other good examples would be both Sargeras and Ashara, both being two different entities, both corrupted from the use of arcane magic, and neither was turned into demons, but rather something else entirely. It should be noted that arcane magic could not transform someone into a demon, but depending on the amount of usage, consumption, and exposure, could corrupt one into being a new species altogether. Some prime examples of this were the Naga, the Satyrs, the Queldori, High Elves, Trolls, and Harpies, all of which in the original lore descended from the Night Elves. Now, it should also be noted that the demons and their subtypes were once mortal, being able to age, die of natural causes, etc., but through the use of fel energies and other corruptive powers were able to become immortals, hence how after 10,000 years of starvation, they were still alive. Here is a brief history on the Fall of Sargeras and its formation of the Burning Legion in the original lore. One can imagine the plane of reality known as the Twisting Nether as a thick web of magic woven around and above the material plane. It is an astral dimension of pure magic which encases all known worlds in thick cocoons of arcane power. Beings with the power to breach the barriers of reality use the Twisting Nether as a means of travel, venturing through it constantly fluctuating expanse to journey from one world to another. Demons are among the most notable in this. They have long sought places like Azeroth, and for some time have been eager to conquer the world and its people. For ages, the Titan Sargeras fought against them, battling back the demons with his immeasurable power. In time, however, he could no longer see his cause as realistic. Virtue lost its glamour, and existence seemed unworthy of his efforts. Drawing in nihilism and madness, he turned against his own kind and everything he and they had built. He forged the Burning Legions, an army of demons, his weapons against the world of light. Now, the structure of the Burning Legion is as following. First among the demons of the Burning Legion are the Eridar and the Twisting Nether. Only the Titans have ever challenged them. Two Eridar, exalted by Sargeras' power, as well as their own, stood as the lords of their race, Archimonde, the Defiler, and Kil'jaeden, the Deceiver. Each built a hierarchy of demons, jealousy protected from the will of the other. These groups strove for dominance of Azeroth and even other worlds. But now, at long last, Archimonde is dead, killed by the heroes of Azeroth. Individual Eridar and few hopeful heroes of the lesser races have decided that they are the best candidates to replace him. These prideful few have taken their first careful steps toward locating and eliminating their presumptuous competition that might seek to displace them. Kil'jaeden's first and most important servants were the vampiric Nathrezim, also named the Dreadlords. They earned this grim title in many ways. Their schemes have turned nations against one another. Their terrible powers have supported the undead scourge, and as individuals they have spread physical and spiritual torment to the limits of their reach. It is within the power of the Eridar to create whole races of demons. They corrupt mortal races to make their minions. The greatest representatives of these species can bind others to their cause, as the Eridar can by offering their gift of blood. The mystic bonds this process creates connects the various races of the Burning Legion. To drink a powerful demon's blood risks the enslavement not only of oneself, but also of one's kind. A race is corrupted into the Burning Legion, or those who sign on accepting the price of this service are at an eternal disadvantage compared to their patron, regardless of their strength. The only consolation is that once a race has joined the Legion, its greatest heroes may offer their blood to others, corrupting new species to serve their own. The dominant demonic races in the Burning Legion after the Eridar, of course, are the Pit Lords, Doomguards, and Emniscents that served under Archimonde and the Dreadlords, and the Risen Terrors and Shadow Priests under Kil'jaeden. And endless hosts of monsters follow their rule. and that host is growing. In all corners of the universe, the followers of Kil'jaeden subvert the righteous to darkness and welcome ancient evils into their ranks. Now, the demonic subtypes are as following. The evil outsiders in Warcraft that comprise the forces of the Burning Legion are generally called demons. This breed of demons in Warcraft RPG is distinct from the ones noted in the MM and use the demonic subtype. As such, references made throughout this book to demons refer to those particular to the Warcraft universe. Demons were mortal once, but have been transformed by their conversion into these demonic beings. This change includes a powerful command of arcane energy. They defined and control their arcane powers with the forces of their will, much as sorcerers or wizards do. Alright, that's a long quote. You can find that in the Warcraft RPG Manual of Monsters, page 112. Okay, so it's clearly stated through the original lore that the Eridar and other subspecies of demons were originally mortal, able to die of natural causes, etc., but became immortal and evil through the use of fell energy. It also clearly shows that the demons could not transform races into new demons, but enslave them as their minions and servants. This is why the orcs are not demons, but were rather enslaved to serve them for all time. You would think that drinking the blood of a demon would turn them into demons themselves. This wasn't the case. In the original lore, it simply corrupted them, bringing forth the blood frenzy and the desire of rampage. The only race of demons that could create more demons was the Eridar, and even then only the most powerful could. Most simply enticed mortals with lies of great power and would enslave them to be their servants so they could enter into the world to devour the energies within it. So what can we conclude? Here are the points regarding the original lore about the Fall of Sargeras and the Burning Legion. Number 1. Sargeras betrayed the Titans and was corrupted by the use of both arcane and fell energy. Number 2. Sargeras took over the demon armies, united different demons together, coined the name Burning Legion, and launched the Burning Crusade. Number 3. The demons always existed, but were not always immortal or evil. Number 4. The Burning Legion could enslave new races, but could not transform races into demons themselves. Number 5. The use of arcane magic was dangerous and could potentially corrupt the user, but not turn them into a demon themselves. Number 6. Demons would entice their potential minions by promises of power and signing of a pact, forcing them to be their slaves because they could not be turned into a demon. Number 7. Demons created pacts with alien races by offering them to drink demonically charged blood or use fell energy to enslave them because they, again, could not be transformed into demons. Number 8. Only the Eridar could create a new type of demon to join the subspecies. And number 9. The orcs were slaves, not demons. Okay. That was all regards to the original lore. Now, the new and accurate lore is as following. Number 1. Sargeras left the Pantheon due to a depression and a search for some other purpose of existence. Number 2. Sargeras had imprisoned many demons, but released them and enslaved them as his servants. Number 3. Sargeras came across the Eridar race, offered them godlike power, and made them the commanders of his armies. Number 4. Sargeras' minions offered power to new races in exchange for their services, corrupting them into new demons. Number 5. Sargeras created the Burning Legion and launched the Burning Crusade. Number 6. Demons are alien races from different planets that have been enslaved or corrupted, or both. Number 7. Arcane magic and fell energy can turn any user into a demon through exposure over time. Number 8. Drinking of demonic blood does not make one a demon, but enslaves one's race to them. Number 9. Any race can potentially become a demon and join the ranks of the Burning Legion. So what does this all mean? I know this can be confusing. It took me many years to sort all of this out from the conflicting lores. But here is what happened so far in the official lore, and this is what is accurate. 1. The universe was created through some unknown means. 2. The Titans, godlike beings, came from the far reaches of the cosmos, forging and crafting planets. 3. Evil beings known as demons came forth from the twisting nether, destroying life and devouring its energies. 4. The Pantheon, High Council of the Titans, charged Sargeras to lead the first assault against the demons and to end their threat. 5. Sargeras defeated the demons easily and banished the surviving demons into the twisting nether, where they could never escape. 6. Sargeras, unable to end the influence of evil and destruction, fell into a deep depression and lost sense of right and wrong, abandoning his mission and leaving the Titans forever. 7. Sargeras became obsessive of demonic powers, fell energies, and arcane magics, became insane, and concluded his only purpose is to end all life. 8. Sargeras searched the cosmos for followers for thousands and thousands of years. Other events occurred during his prolonged absence and his quest and search for followers. 9. Sargeras enlisted the aid and race of the Eridar, corrupted them into demons, and made them his commanders. 10. Sargeras elected 2 of their race as the leaders of his army, and charged Kil'jaeden to list new races into his army, and Archimonde to lead his armies in any given assault. 11. Sargeras broke the seal of the demons in the twisting nether and brought them into his army. And 12. Sargeras coined the name Burning Legion for his army and launched his unholy campaign. Alright, that's it for today. This concludes the Fall of Sargeras. Thank you for watching today's episode. If you want to see more episodes and comparisons, please subscribe to my channel and like this video. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to message me. Until next time, I will see you on the next episode.